Brilliance Audio presents Rich Dad, Poor Dad, What the Rich Teach Their Kids About Money That the Poor and Middle Class Do Not, by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Performed by Tom Parks. The Beatles released the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album on June 1, 1967. It was an immediate commercial and critical success, spending 27 weeks at the top of the albums chart in the UK and 15 weeks at number 1 in the United States. Time magazine declared Sgt. Pepper's a historic departure in the progress of music. It won 4 Grammy Awards in 1968, as well as Album of the Year, the first rock album ever to receive that honor. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was released 20 years ago, on my 50th birthday, on April 8, 1997. Unlike the Beatles story, the book was not an immediate commercial success. It was not a critical success. In fact, the book's release and the firestorm of criticism that followed was quite the opposite. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was originally self-published because every book publisher we approached turned my book down. A few rejection slips offered comments like, "You do not know what you are talking about." I learned that most publishers are more like my highly educated poor dad than my rich dad. Most publishers disagreed with my rich dad's lessons on money, as did my poor dad. 20 years today. In 1997, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was a warning, a book of lessons about the future. 20 years later, millions of people around the world are more aware of my rich dad's warnings and his lessons about the future. With 2020 hindsight, many have said that his lessons were prophetic. Predictions come true. A few of those lessons are: Rich Dad's lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. 20 years ago, a few publishers turned my book down because they did not agree with Rich Dad's number 1 lesson. Today, people are more aware of the growing divide between the rich and everyone else. Between 1993 and 2010, over 50% of the increase in the national income in the United States went to the wealthiest 1%. Since then, things have only gotten worse. Economists at the University of California found that 95% of the income gains between the years 2009 and 2012 also went to that wealthiest 1%. The lesson? The increases in income are going to entrepreneurs and investors, not to employees, not to the people who work for money. Rich Dad lesson? Savers are losers. 20 years ago, most publishers vehemently disagreed with this lesson from Rich Dad. For the poor and middle class, saving money is a religion, financial salvation from poverty and protection from the cruel world. For many people, calling savers losers is like taking God's name in vain. The lesson? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Take a look at the chart provided in the bonus material of 120 years of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and you will see why and how savers become losers. The charts show there have been 3 massive stock market crashes in the first 10 years of this new century. The first crash was the dot-com crash around the year 2000. The second and third crashes were the real estate crash of 2007, followed by the banking crash of 2008.